Hello, my friends. It is me. It is Bob. It is me. It is Bob. I am a Greek god. Oh, my God. Why would people say things like that in third person? It is I, Zeus. There are other people that do that in contemporary times, and it's just odd. But anyway, this is Bob Saget's Here for You, and more than ever, I feel like I want to, I don't know, just be your pal and just try to help you through whatever, or just entertain you, or just talk to you. And I am wearing pants. They're sweatpants, but I am wearing them. I'm topless. No, I'm not Bert Kreischer. I am fully clothed. Actually, the thing I'm wearing, the jacket kind of thing, has a Danny Tanner. In fact, it's the Fuller House rap show gift. So it's the cancelization present that I'm wearing for my upper body for good karma. And those episodes are going to be on any minute or any month on Netflix. Those last 9 episodes where you can all cry together for people that liked that Fuller House. That I play Danny Tanner, who I've become, who we've all become. I did one tweet and it went, I don't know. You can't say it went viral. It just doesn't work. Yeah, it went to, I don't know what it did. It trended. That sounds gross. I trended. Really? That's nice. I don't know. I skidded because my underwear is dark. When you wear black underwear, I just burped internally from coffee. I'm sorry. That's how real this is. I will not expel any gas. It'll just be an occasional hiccup or a burp. And I don't go back to fix it because what the hell? I mean, Howard Stern, who kind of was the best, is the best at this kind of talking to people medium, although that's highly, people can debate that because there's so many good people that do podcasts that are amazing. And you know who they are. And he'd burp out loud and just what the hell. I think he farted. I'm not sure. But I think he's always been so thin that he never really had a lot of gas. That's my guess. I channel it into my stomach to the point where I just had a sturgeon on a bagel, which gives you an idea of the kind of food that I rarely eat. But we had it yesterday, my wife and we share food because, we're on rations. Whatever age you are, I just want to say that this is for everybody. I'm trying not to curse. I'm not trying. It's just when you talk to people, because I'm going to take some calls today. I make some calls. What happened is there's a phone number, which is listed at the top of this thing. It tells you what number to call and leave a message or a question. And I'm going to call you and just have a convo with you and see what's going on and see how you're feeling and all that stuff. And the other thing you got to do that I must tell you is that you need to go into the column thing of this thing. See, I'm very tech oriented. I don't even know what the menu looks like. It's not even a menu. I know what a menu looks like because I've been ordering in quite a bit, but you got to then vaccinate all the packages and fumigate them and hazmat them. I'm calling Tom. He is in the beautiful Philadelphia area, I think.
The party you are trying to reach does not accept calls from numbers with caller ID blocked.
Oh,
Please
well,
unblock
that's
your
too bad. I'm not unblocking my number. I wish I could, but I can't. I'm really sorry, Tom. I just can't have you calling me all the time because I got kids. I got a wife. Well, my wife don't call me. She's in the house, so we just text. But, that's the whole thing, this new feature, which you hit pound, and then they would see your number, which is good, and I trust Tom, but not enough. This is going to be Doug. I hope he doesn't have the same feature. I'm going to have to start unblocking, which is really scary. This is Doug. This would be Doug. This will be Doug. Doug is in an area code I do not know. Oh, Doug hung up because I'm a blocked number. Maybe I got to unblock? What? And then I got to block everybody? I'll try him again. This is Doug. I don't give up. I just don't. This will be Doug. He's probably going to go, who is it? I'm that annoying friend that calls like 5 times. He thinks I'm one of those, political calls or something, or some, I don't know, some service that mops your house. Doug's not picking up.
Hello, this is Doug.
Hey, Doug, Bob Saget here. How are you, sir?
Great. How you doing? Thanks for calling.
Thank you. I thought you were concerned because I was a blocked number. Was that accurate?
No, not at all. I think I was in my basement working, and it dropped.
Wow, you're working. What are you working on? What are you doing, sir?
I'm a science teacher at the nearby high school.
You're a hero is what you are. Now,
That's all right.
well, you're not doing it right now, right? Or are you doing it over internet?
I'm doing it over the internet, putting on videos and doing some myself. I kind of did a little lab today.
And you put it out to all the students, and they've been responding positively?
Yeah. We got the data in class, and they kind of worked through the calculations on their own. They submitted through the Google Classroom. It's pretty cool.
You're not just dropping, what are they, Mentos in bottles where they foam over? What is that? How
well, sometimes.
Yeah.
That's the fun thing about chemistry, all the demos in class, because even if you're bored doing calculations, you can go ahead and blow something up. So usually can keep the kids involved. Pretty cool.
Yeah, if you blow stuff up, kids are happy.
Yeah.
What city are you in, if I could ask?
I'm in St. Louis.
St. Louis. I'm supposed to go there. I canceled the tour and postponed it, so I'll be coming in by the end of the year. What's the deal now? You're working from home. Are you staying safe?
Yeah. We moved into a new house, and just catching up on some stuff. I'm working a little bit. My wife's a financial planner. She's working from home. That's going great. It's kind of nice because we moved into a new house and we're getting settled in, and our kids are at the perfect age for this because they're like 1.5 and 2.5. So they don't really know what's going on, but they like having parents at home.
Right.
It's just a cool age. Yeah.
And are they? The only thing is kids. Well, St. Louis. How bad is the pandemic there right now?
It's not as bad as a lot of places in the area. Obviously, I think New York with international airports and public travel and the population density, it's really hitting them. But for us, for once, it's good that we didn't have a really big public transit, and so we're doing all right. Missouri's, kind of on the low end, kind of in the middle of the pack in terms of states. So not a hot spot, but everybody's taking precautions.
Well, yeah, they should, and I hope it stays that way because we don't know what every day brings. It's exponential, but I'm really glad your kids are at the age where they don't even know what a snow day is to appreciate. So that's cool, and it's nice. There is, I guess, the positive for me is that you do have time with your family. If you like your family, it's a really good time for people to be together, and you don't get. I mean, this doesn't happen financially. It's terrible. And I'm sure that you guys are not getting paid during this time, correct?
No, my wife is still working from home, and luckily they haven't completely canceled school for myself, so we're still getting paid during this time. So we've got it easy.
Oh, you do. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
We're really lucky.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, and I hope it stays that way. And you sound like a really nice guy, honestly. And teachers are. I think they're the most blessed people. Two of my sisters were teachers, and one of them, people still tell me today that she was the best teacher of her whole life. And and if you can teach chemistry, I mean, I couldn't figure it out. All I know is iron is Fe, and I don't know much. Of potassium, I would remember it by going K. That's about it. That's all I got.
What did your sister teach?
English, and kind of an honors English. So she got the people that really liked books and really liked not all nerds, but as people would unfortunately say, but people that appreciated intelligent writing and great stories and stuff. So she was really
Fantastic.
Really special. Yeah. So you had a question for me, or something you wanted to discuss?
I did. I know you kind of alluded to it on other interviews. I'm a big fan of Dirty Work. Saw it in the theater, opening weekend. Love that movie. But I know you kind of alluded to that there's a lot more kind of left behind because you had an R-rated cut.
Yeah.
Could you kind of let us know what your favorite part of the R-rated version was?
That's fun because Norm and I have been talking a lot, and I'm also alluding to us possibly doing something with that with the movie. So not the original, but something different. But I'm not allowed to talk about it because we're in the process of just development and all that stuff. But if it happens, it will be one of the craziest things because Norm Macdonald's one of the funniest people alive. So
absolutely.
There was a couple things. There was an R-rated cut, and it was released in 1998, and I directed it. It's been a year. And Norm and Fred Wolf and Frank Sebastiano wrote the original script, and MGM made it, and Bob Simons produced it. So we had a cut that was R-rated, and I really wanted it to stay R-rated. And they said, "I'm sorry, we have to make it PG-13." So that was the first thing that made me go, "Oh God, we have a problem." Because they said they said R-rated comedies didn't work, but Something About Mary came out like 6 months after us, and it was like the biggest thing ever. And that's kind of when R-rated comedies started really going to the forefront. There hadn't been a ton of them at that time, and now you almost expect it. Anything from
exactly.
Seth Rogen or Will Ferrell is up. Well, Will goes back and forth between a PG-13 and an R-rated thing, but the really funny people it's often an R-rated comedy, Hangover, yada yada. But and yada yada, one of my favorite films. I hope they make a sequel. But one of the things that we loved, there were these frat guys. For people that haven't seen Dirty Work, it's from 1998. You can watch it. It's available anywhere. Just anywhere. You can find it in the street. Just don't touch it because, you don't know who's gone near it. But it's a rough time. But what happened was there are these frat guys that were real jerks. And then Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang got back at them by dressing up as cops. And then they called real cops. And then the cops ended up, I'm not going to spoiler alert it, but they beat the crap out of the guys. Oh, damn, I spoiler alert it. So these frat guys, what they did was not, they were incredibly horrible to Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang. Mitch and Sam were the characters' names. So what they did to get back at them, because they were in the revenge business, that's the premise of the movie, to get a heart for their father, played by the great late Jack Warden, amazing actor.
Yeah.
And they needed 50 grand for the heart, and Chris Farley was in it and played Jimmy No-Nose, whose nose had been bitten off by a Saigon whore. Hey, people, I'm just relaying what the script is in the script. And Chevy Chase was in it, and Adam Sandler, and a bunch of cameos, and Chris McDonald. It's a special comedy movie that that became a cult favorite, but didn't make the finances. So they wanted to make the finances, so they made it PG-13. So this is what they cut out. Boy, do I go on. So what happened was, which is why I have this show, because I go on. So what happened was, you're going to love this. A box of donuts is left on the doorstep of the frat guy's house. The couple mean Maine guys open the box of donuts. They start eating the donuts. They're loving eating the donuts. They're all eating the donuts. And at the very bottom is a Polaroid. And they pick the picture up and they look at it. And it's Norm and Artie Lang naked with donuts on their penises. And Artie, I only put like 4 donuts on his. And Norm, I put like 8 because, he was number 1 on the call sheet. And we used a dowel, like you put paper towels on, and we strapped it to the outside of underwear and then airbrushed, because neither of them were doing nudity. And we airbrushed all the underwear out and the dowel. So all you saw were these donuts. and of course, they had to be erect in order for them to stay on. So the frat boys start spitting out the donuts, and that's when I decided to get back at Norm and Artie really bad. So that's one thing that was cut out. There was another thing that I had to have Norm loop or dub or whatever you want to call it, put different words in his mouth. Norm goes to prison. He goes to prison, and as he's he's leaving prison, he's being released, and he looks back at all the people, as only Norm can do, and he goes, "Oh, just do you remember the wording exactly?"
He says, "Well, the disrespect. I'm so appalled by the disrespect. I'm also appalled by the rape, but mostly the disrespect."
Right.
Something along those lines, right?
Yeah, and the word wasn't rape. He went, and the other thing, That's what he said. He said, that's just, looked back and said something to the effect of that. That's just disgusting. I'm saying it wrong. I'm paraphrasing my own movie. The nerve of you guys, just insulting them for how they violated him. Just that, the disrespect, and he's pulling his pants up while he's walking out, and he goes that and the other thing, and then he left. But if you look at his mouth, it says that and the anal rape. That's what he's saying. But they made me take that out because anal rape gives you an R rating. Not today, it doesn't, but it did in 1998. So, and it was funny because Norm and I went to all of the theaters like in the LA area, and they were mobbed and people were screaming. And we said, we got a hit, buddy. And we're hugging each other, which we won't do now. And then we found out the next morning from the producer, I got that phone call. Sorry, buddy, didn't make it. Talk to you later. And then I heard from him once after that. And I was late for a lunch. So that's the story of making a movie. But it's a damn funny movie, isn't it?
It is. Chevy Chase is great with him betting on Clubber Lang and him getting his arm broken. And,
oh yeah,
I still say that. It's like, how's that fair? If that's your arm, he's still in money. I love it. Jack Warden's just great. That's his line. We didn't have all the fancy birth control like you guys have today, like pulling out. Great line. And then Norm and Artie were just great together. And then, of course, the Chris Farley.
Was another level. He's just another level. He was
the prank at the car dealership. I've never seen so many dead hookers in all my life.
And then David Koechner was the on-air live commercial for Norm was trying to get back at him because he was mean to a girl that he liked, played by Traylor Howard. And he's in the live commercial. Norm all of a sudden is up on the platform with all the cars, and he goes, "Hey, there's a dead hooker in that truck." And David Koechner is yelling, "It's not a dead hooker!" And then Artie Lang is pushing all the trunk releases, and it's just all these prostitutes that Norm paid. This is a bit misogynistic, I would think. And they weren't dead; they were just doing this as a favor because Norm paid them to lay in the trunks. And it's a there's a bunch of really funny things, and I'm very proud to have been part of it. And I'll be talking to Norm not too long from now. So he's a dear one.
Well, I hope that project happens for you because, you guys were great together.
Yeah.
And then not to mention your wonderful cameo in Dirty Work as well.
Oh, and Half-Baked. And Half-Baked, you mean?
Oh, that was Half-Baked. I apologize.
No, they run together. They came out the same year. In fact, I wanted to direct Half-Baked, and I met with the producer, Bob Simons, and he said, well, maybe Dirty Work. And so he was very kind in that regard. And I was the first comedian Norm Macdonald ever saw when he was 17 years old. And in Ottawa, Canada, I was like 21, 22. And I picked at him in the audience. He wasn't a comedian at the time. He had like an afro of some kind, or a Canada fro. How do you pronounce it? I don't know. But
yeah, sure.
I guess. But he was just a guy who was destined to do what he did. And he's a very, very special guy. I really appreciate talking to you, and I wish you all the best. You're a very admirable guy, and send my best to your family, and stay well and safe during all this.
Will do. It was great talking, and the best to you in your family.
Thanks so much, Doug. Have a good one.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you.
You too. Be well. What a nice guy, and no call blocking, which is always good. You know what? Now would be a good time to take a little break. Let's just take our first break right now. Hey, we're back with Bob's Here For You. Well, it's really Bob Saget's Here For You, but saying my last name in a sentence just sounds just wrong on every level. I'm going to call people more because this just feels good right now. And when you talk to somebody who cares about people, like a school teacher who's still out doing their work online, it's just taking a difficult time and making it work. Again, my heart goes out to everybody. And people say that, man. They say it, and even the way I just said it, I kind of threw it off. Hey, my heart goes out, but it truly does. So, without getting emotional, I'm going to call Tristanzen. That is a hard name to pronounce, but I will try it and see if that is the actual name. So, this is Tristanzen. I think it's the New York area, and we will find out. No, it's not. It's not. And we're calling Tristanzen. That's a good loud ring. That's going to come in clear. All we pray is that Tristanzen answers.
Hello?
Hi, is this Tristanzen? Is that how I pronounce your name? It's Bob Saget.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
I'm good. Is that the proper pronunciation of your name?
Tristan?
Oh, it's just Tristan or Kristen?
Tristan with the T.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's a cool name. Well, it's nice to meet you, Tristan.
Well, it's nice to meet you, too. I'm surprised you called.
So, could I ask you, Tristan, where do you live? Don't tell me the address or anything, but what city do you live in?
It's so small. It's in Ohio. It's Camden, Ohio. If you're familiar with Dayton, it's about 45 minutes from Dayton.
Yeah, I am familiar. I've played everywhere in Ohio. I played Akron, Canton. I've played places that people don't. Youngstown. I mean, I've been pretty much everywhere, and I was supposed to do some dates that will be moved to the end of the year and rescheduled in Cleveland, Cincinnati, and how far are you from either of those places?
I'm about an hour from Cincinnati and then 4 hours from Cleveland.
Well, when I'm there at Cincinnati, and I've been telling this to everybody that I call, simply tell the box office that you're Tristan from Bob Saget's Here For You, and I'll make sure if you want to come back and say hi afterward. By then, our social distancing will probably allow a selfie because it'll be 6 months from now or something. So that's the hope for everybody right now.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be so much fun.
Excellent.
I'm hoping here in 6 months, or at least 2 months, we can get back up in business.
That's everybody's hope.
Get back to work.
Oh yeah. How's it going there? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I worked at Houston Woods State Lodge. It's a state park in Oxford, and we had to get all of our lodges got shut down, so 73 people got laid off. But that's all right. We're all moving along.
To keep a positive attitude through this is because we've never seen this. I mean, the last time I guess we can equate it to is other, strange flus that came up, the bird flu, but, swine flu. But these numbers we've never seen the country shut down. And my dad lived through the Great Depression because he was married to my mom. Oh, wow. But he went through a tough time as a kid. But this is very strange. But do you find it bringing people together? Are you living with your family? Are you living alone? Are you do you have a significant other?
No, I live with just my mom. Her and I are for the situation right now room together, and I'm gonna move out hopefully here in a couple of months around August. I'm gonna move out. Right. She goes back and forth between here and then her boyfriend's house because it's not too far. It won't and create a problem with the social distancing.
And that's
I think it really. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that's safe. He doesn't go anywhere either. He kind of just stays home.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think it's bringing a lot of people together. I haven't seen so many people outside and enjoying the weather and walking the dog in so long. So it's kind of nice to see that people are out and about.
I took a walk yesterday with my wife. It was our first time in 2 weeks that we left the house, and we walked around the block. And it was a couple miles, actually. It was up a mountain and down a hill. And we would see people from 50 feet away and go, this is too close. Because L.A. is different.
That's fair. I went to San Diego, and that was, it was definitely a culture shock because Ohio to San Diego is significantly different.
Tremendously,
but
yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. I went to the store the other day and I just kind of had to turn around because you never know.
No, you don't. And people, I have daughters in New York, and a lot of people, unfortunately, there's a lot of homeless, and they don't care when they don't know where they are, or have mental issues, and they just come up to people, and it's just sad and dangerous. And my daughter, one of them, is very frightened to go out. She doesn't leave the house because people are still not practicing social distancing. Mostly younger people, unfortunately, aren't. I guess they're not watching the news, or just don't care, or think it's not real. They don't realize that in New York, the hospitals have been insanely overflooded. And but enough about that. Let's talk about something almost cheery. You had a question or something you wanted to talk about with me?
Oh yeah, I'm in college and I have an honors project that I have to do. So I figure if I have to, not have to, if I want to ask a question, might as well do something that I could put in my project. So I based it around technology. I'm through different generations, and I'm 19, so my generation's different than your generation and my grandparents' generation.
Yeah, my generation. I was raised in a log, not even a cabin, just a tree trunk. Yeah, I'm older. So you're younger than any of my daughters, actually, but you don't sound it.
Wow.
We're in a smart. Maybe it's A, you have a good IQ, and B or two, as John Stamos says, it's the stuff that we also take in on television and the internet that sometimes helps us to not. And I don't see any difference between ages, because I just don't. I mean, a 4-year-old, obviously, I can't have a conversation with. I can't say, "Do I have your permission to put you on the air?" And then a 4-year-old just goes, candy. So what was your? Yeah, I want to be part of your project. So what do you want to know?
I just wanted to know how you felt that technology has impacted people, psychologically and socially, like with anxiety, and whether it's improved, our connections, or whether it's hurting us. Because it's hard to say. So I just wanted a different opinion on it. And my whole project is basically how technology has impacted us psychologically, because I'm a psychology major, so it's based around our mental state of it.
Well, first thing,
I just didn't know.
You're awesome to be a psychology major, because some people go, that's a bunch of BS, and those are my initials. But that it is essential to understand and be in the moment of what we're going through and what we've been going through, because 30 years ago there was no internet, there was nothing,
right.
So I think it's both. I think it has, especially now during this time where people in many places don't leave their home, and some places they do. They're not affected, or don't think they're affected, or haven't been affected yet, and maybe hopefully won't get affected. But this has brought people together hugely. So people are watching some television, but a lot of people are turning to the live streaming messages from people, listening to scientists talking, hanging out with their friends, house party online, things that give you some pleasure, because you don't want to get into a depression over this. And it's so easy, especially if you're not working and you're trying to support yourself or people. And so,
yeah, definitely.
I do think, like you and your mom, if you're not fighting, you probably have gotten closer through this, I would think. Is that accurate?
Closer with technology, or through
closer as people, closer as a mom and a daughter, or sometimes people are cooped up together, they fight with each other.
Yeah, my mom and I get along pretty well. We kind of, since I've gotten older, we kind of both drifted to do our own things, but when we're around each other, we enjoy the company.
That's important. So I think if people are watching something together, whether it be the news or whether it be a show, if you're watching some competition show, that we're all on the phone more, and we're all online more, and we're talking to people more. And for that, I think it kind of brings everybody together. And we're also not hearing about us going to war with anybody and how countries are hating each other right now. We hear it from some places, but it is there is a peace that comes with this common enemy, which is a disease that we've never experienced. So I think that in some ways, forgetting the pandemic, that we've been also dispersed from real human communication. The short quote would be, I think all of the viral stuff, that's a bad term, but all of our ways of communicating online have separated us as human beings, and we don't have the human experience besides people partying and stuff, but not really sitting around and talking with each other and communicating as humans. And a lot of it has separated us as humanity, I think, all over the world. And how news is given to us and how people's conversations. But the advantage is you can hear brilliant people say brilliant things in documentaries or a TED Talk or communicating with friends or if you're really, missing people. And there's a great way to catch up with them, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. That's a gift of it, that it brings people together. And I hear from relatives I haven't heard from, how you doing? I miss your mom, stuff like that. And then I go, well, I don't. No, that's a joke. I love my mom. But so it's the yin and yang of it. I think is it yin and yang or yin and yang?
I think it's yin and yang.
I think you're right. That's why you're a student and I'm a dropout. But but does that kind of answer your question, that it's both?
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of the route that I was thinking with it too. But I like to hear a bunch of different people's opinions about it, especially people who are not my same age. So I appreciate your feedback.
Oh, thank you.
You're kind of going along with the lines that I was thinking.
Well, the other thought that I had was when I was doing Full House and America's Funniest Home Videos, TV was different. So those shows were getting like 30% of all people watching TV were watching those shows when they were in their prime. And everybody has come up to me, and here I am being a cynical comedian going, here I am doing family shows, and yet realizing the value of that you can watch it with your whole family. And people still tell me to this day, when I was a kid, that was the show I was able to sit down and watch with my family. And there's that's something missing these days. There are a few shows that do that. Maybe it's The Masked Singer, or, I don't know, all of the dancing and singing competition shows bring everybody together. America's Got Talent. Sometimes you watch it and you go, no, they don't. But but it's really something. Anything that can help people have the human experience, I think, is one of the wonderful things about online communication or television. But we're more homebodies now. And not always by choice. But I think in that way, it's the best time to take advantage of the internet. And I feel like there's less haters out there, except there's still political stuff that's going on. And I wish we could make that go away and just let people be more human. But it's turned into like it's a wrestling cage match, it seems like,
It's like, people stick one person on another to not, for their views. No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
America's Funniest Home Videos was the show that I watched with my family, so that was kind of funny that you mentioned that.
Oh, that makes me feel good. That does. And then Tom Bergeron had the same experience, and so does Alfonso, and we've talked about it. Mm-hmm. And it is something. Comedy also brings people together in a big way. So I'm sorry I wasn't funnier on this call, but you had a sincere question, so I answered it.
That's perfectly fine. There were so many questions I wanted to ask, but I was like, well, I might as well get some information that I could use for a project. So I just appreciate you calling me back.
Well, my pleasure. I'm sure the other one, yes, John Stamos does look that good. That's probably the answer. And
dang it, some people are just so lucky.
Yes, he was born with amazing genetics, but doesn't mean he doesn't have devils. He's always trying to better himself, and he's raising his little boy, and he's got a beautiful wife. So that to him is a dilemma.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
a dilemma.
Yeah, no, because it gives him less time in front of the mirror. He'd rather just be gazing at his hair. But he is he's like a brother to me. And then Dave Coulier literally sits around and talks to the woodchuck at home in Detroit. It's really weird. So that's how he's been dealing with his alone time. But he's got a great wife too.
That's awesome. That's so good to hear. I loved Full House, and I still watch it sometimes. So that's really good to hear.
Well, thanks, Tristan, and thank you for calling. And I really appreciate it. And hope to see you in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I hope to be there. Thanks again.
Good. Be well. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're going to take one more break, and then I'm going to call one more person because that's just how I'm feeling. I'm just feeling it. All right. Sending lots of love out to you people. I'm just sitting here, and they call them sweatpants, but that's only if you're exercising. And I'm just sitting here doing this, and it doesn't require. I am sweating a little bit just around the groinal area. Look, there's nothing wrong with saying that. People might go, "Why do you have to go there?" I don't know, because the sweat went there, and I'm not even doing anything. Maybe it's coffee. Coffee you drink accelerates your metabolism, and then all of the fluids come out your pores. And if you're just sitting there, it would go out to the lowest point of refuge. That's not a sentence, but we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And I'm going to call, I got so many people here. I'm going to call Hayden. I don't know him. I just thought it'd be nice to hear another gentleman talk. I hope I'm not insulting. I hope it is a gentleman. It could very well be a lady. And if it is, we're going to find out right now because this is Hayden. Hayden. And here we go. That would be a ringing of a phone. I don't know if you're familiar with that. If you're doing FaceTime, you don't use... Oh, yeah, you do get a little ding time.
Hello?
Hayden, Bob Saget. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Bob?
I'm good. Thanks for calling and leaving a message. I appreciate it. Are you there?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Hayden, how's it going there? Where are you?
It's going pretty well.
What city?
We're lockdown right now. I'm outside of Fort Wayne.
Got it. So, how's everything affecting you right now?
Well, I got laid off. I print T-shirts, and I got we do things for events, and as you can imagine, right now there's not a lot of events going on, so not a lot of jobs.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. But go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. But no, other than that, I'm doing pretty all right.
And do you live alone or do you live with family?
No, I got a roommate. I'm down in Ball State. Yeah, the one that David Letterman went to.
I performed at Ball State, and I did 5 minutes on just the name of the school.
Yeah, no, it's pretty nice. We're in online classes right now. It's kind of a bitch to get done, but gotta press forward.
So you're still able to be in school right now?
Yeah.
So Ball State, but right before I called you, I was talking about the state of mind, because I had a bit of a sweaty wiener going on from, you're in sweatpants during this thing. You just kind of stay indoors, and you got to choose when you wash. So I'm pretty clean because I'm Danny Tanner, but
yeah.
So, what have you been doing? Have you been watching TV and stuff?
Yeah, no, we've been watching a lot of shit on Hulu, just kind of surfing through the Futurama, all the animated stuff, and then we're actually watching Norm Macdonald Live, the one that you were on.
Yeah, he kind of embarrassed me big time.
Yeah, no,
he's a dear friend.
Always a waste of time. Pretty great.
He's one of the funniest people on the earth. That's the truth.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we're talking about doing something else together again, which I'm excited about. We've been talking quite a bit.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, me too. It's just a question of rounding him up because he is not like other people.
That's for sure.
Is an extremely high IQ, and he's. I've always gotten him because comedians I kind of thrive on them, and doing stand up. It's something obviously the same as you're wanting to be able to do your merch and sell your stuff. It's the same thing as all of us comedians are not able to get out there. And understandably, we're all in our bunkers, doing what we do.
Mm.
And that's why I'm doing this show too, to help people along. And then I think I'm going to do it forever because I really, am very comfortable doing this kind of thing. And it's like, isn't it weird? Like I called you and you're like, oh, you kind of feel like you know me. Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah. No, it was just funny earlier being like, I guess I'm expecting a call from Bob Saget.
It's really weird. I mean, I could knock on a farmhouse somewhere and say, and under normal circumstances, and say, can I stay there? And they'd go, you'll have to sleep with the pigs. And then I'll go, I don't know about that. But I don't want to get...
No, I can say try it.
But swine flu, I don't need that. We got enough problems going on right now.
I'd like to specify, I have not tried it, but...
you don't want to sleep...
proverb, as they say.
Say what?
The old proverb, as they say, don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, but I think animal husbandry, wanting to be a husband to an animal, is just not the way to go. I mean, that's how all these terrible pandemics start. Is crossing over. Unless you're a centaur and you're half goat, half boy, I guess you would be born with some kind of disease. And I'm not making light of it because what kind of quarantine are you guys under right now? Is there anything?
It's essentially just like only run errands, like get medicine, get food, anything else. Like they'll pull you over and ask you what you're doing.
And you're a young man. Are you pretty much abiding by the law? You're not out like the spring breakers, are you?
Oh no, fuck that. Actually, I kind of have asthma myself, so I'm kind of high risk.
I had it at your age as well, and I still have it a little bit. And then I would smoke cigars because I love them, but I haven't touched anything. I'm not smoking nothing until this thing is way gone.
Yeah, it's definitely scary thoughts.
I would smoke a cigar if it had the vaccination in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's time to celebrate. Exactly. Like.
Now, actually, before we started, you kind of insinuated that you might be partaking because this program premiered on 4/20, which is a magic day for many people.
Oh, for sure.
Now, is that something that I don't want to get you in trouble, but we don't know your last name. You're kind of cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to be in trouble, but yeah, it should be anonymous enough. Nobody's gonna like bust their balls over something that's on a thing by Bob Saget.
I would think actually there's pot named after me. There's a bunch of different brands, which I'm not proud of, but because I don't get any of the merch out of it. I get no royalties out of Bob Saget's sativa. It's just not fair because I could help people sleep at night.
Free market's a bitch sometimes.
Life ain't fair. I mean, basically it has my name on it. People are sucking on it and I'm not getting a piece of it. So that's, if someone's sucking on me and I'm not getting money, something's wrong.
Isn't that kind of how you know you made it if they have a drug named after you?
I think so. I
believe that's how that works.
I hope when this whole thing is over, which I hope and we all pray that it's as soon as possible, that no one names their kid Corona.
Yeah.
And there's some nut job out there that's going to do that. And
yeah.
Probably. That to me would...
fucking kid named COVID as well.
Yeah, exactly. COVID-19, right? That would be a 19-year-old. And how old are you?
20.
See? It's just a year older. You missed it by 1 year. You're very lucky. I mean, if you named your kid Corona, that would just be batty, wouldn't it? See, that's a dad joke. That's a dad joke combined with an incredibly poor taste, upsetting kind of attempt. But if you're laughing,
I don't expect anything different.
Well, if I'm making you laugh, I'm doing my job, man. Well, what was your question that you had for me? I believe you had one.
Oh, my question was, what's your favorite sandwich?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because I like to eat healthy, but I will tell you, being from Philadelphia, there are two sandwiches there that kind of drive me nuts. But there's also a New York sandwich. I'm gonna name three. I got no choice. In Philly, there's the famed cheesesteak, and they call it, Pat's and Geno's. But there's a place called Jim's that I went to that kind of blew my socks off. Actually, I ate it and my socks kind of flew off, just like the witch in the Wizard of Oz, how her feet rolled up. This was like the opposite of that. And then there's a hoagie, which is not good for you. And it's all I love it. I love an Italian sub. I just love it. And one thing about
get that capicola on there.
Yeah, or if you're Italian, it's the gabagool. So I was a deli clerk for 6 years as I put myself through film school. So I would know exactly. And it's got mortadella, which is fatty bologna, and it's got provolone, and it's got, the Genoa salami, and it's just hardcore. And then they have a special sauce. They don't tell you about it, but it's all the same stuff. But Lee's Hoagie in Philly was always good to me. But I'll eat a sub sandwich. I live in L.A., and we've got a thing here called Bay Cities, and they make the grandmother. It's on harder bread. And then lastly, in New York downtown is Katz's Deli, which makes
I've been there. That's a solid choice.
That is a pastrami sandwich. That is, it's just it does stop your heart. I mean, literally, it's.
Oh yeah.
You pretty much almost can die.
No, my father for Father's Day one year, we actually got we got a ship from New York, like a whole sandwich and like meal and everything. I mean, he's type 2 diabetic, so maybe it wasn't the best gift, but it was a thought to count.
It does give you a comfort level, but then you want to eat healthy for at least 2 days if you can. It's hard because, what's your favorite sandwich? That's what I want to know.
I'm pretty basic. My go-to is usually ham and cheddar if I'm feeling, bougie. But get some of that, deli ham, deli cheddar. Put that in the microwave for a bit and pull it out. Put some mayonnaise on one side. And there's a Kroger makes this German mustard, right?
Yep.
It's from Germany. You can get it like on Amazon or in Germany, but it's like $4. $4 for like a little bit of it. And best damn mustard there is, I swear.
Well, I will
go specifically to Kroger to get that mustard.
I love German mustard. I love it. It's more granules, right? It's kind of got like the seeds in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
65 years ago. Well, during World War II, if you took like a piece of any kind of bread and you put on it like Hebrew National bologna and then German mustard, your sandwich was a conflict of interest at the time.
Oh yeah.
Because
they got the Freedom Prize too.
See, that's the other thing. Do you go for the Oscar Mayer? Or do you go for the genuine what the hell's in the meat package? Because I used to eat it.
Yeah, if I'm feeling real bougie, I'll go for all the deli stuff. But if we're talking, getting more bang for my buck, it's gonna be the $1, like the cheap meat, and you throw like 4 or 5 slices on there.
As long as it doesn't say under ingredients meat.
Exactly. I'm not going to question it.
Yeah, it's got to say pork, beef. It's got to at least say what. My wife is a vegan, pretty much. She's a pescatarian. That's her religion, and she
Catholic.
But I'm a guy that I do like meat. It's a thing, and I always cop out saying my doctor said I'm B positive and my blood needs meat, and that's kind of bullshit. I think you could. Pretty much, but that you're naming something that, most people wish that they was in their lunchbox when they go to school when they were kids. My mom wouldn't get me the stuff I wanted. She would get me like, I don't know what she gave me. I just remember I hated her food and I begged for, your mom's not a good lunch maker when you go to school and you're begging for the elementary school food.
Oh yeah. No.
Did you eat the school food or did you eat lunch from home?
I did mostly school food. By the time I got to high school, I said, fuck that, because it was getting expensive and I'm a cheap bastard. But I used to pack my lunch. I remember one time my grandmother packed my lunch and she gave me a plastic spoon. So naturally, I just threw it away once I was done with my food. And I got in trouble for throwing away a perfectly good spoon because I could reuse that plastic spoon.
Did you go to a parochial school?
No.
Why would they get mad at you for throwing away a spoon?
No, my grandmother was.
Oh, your grandmother was angry that you threw it away.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess spoons were hard to come by back in the day. Well, I'm very appreciative of your question because a good sandwich it literally is something that we look forward to. It's like, what's going to be dinner? What's going to be? Am I eating breakfast? Well, you just take care of yourself, and I hope you and your roommate get along, and be well, man. And I hope to see you out there. I'll be out touring again end of the year, beginning of next year, rescheduling all my stuff. So I've got stand up trying to make people happy, and I send you all my.
I'll be sure to check it out.
Oh, absolutely, and I would love to see you. If I'm where you are, just go to the box office and just say it's Hayden, and from Bob Saget's here for you, and then you'll just come back and say hi afterward, and hopefully we won't have to worry about spatial distance, social distance, and we could actually take a selfie. Selfies will be back, so God help us all. So.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, have a good one.
You too. Take care of yourself. Thanks for calling, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye-bye. Talking to young people is a gift. Here I am, a 63-year-old dude, and I got people, a third of my age calling me, younger, and just talking to me. And that's an honor. That is a true honor. And I don't know what to say except thanks. And I'll be doing this again on the next episode of Bob Saget's Here For You. So I look forward to talking to you. And I'll be riffing by myself and doing my free association. And I'm going to have some special guests coming up. And I just love doing this show. So I hope you enjoyed listening to it. I hope it wasn't too boring to listen to my favorite sandwich. The guy asked for one. I give him 3. That's kind of over the top. So you got to review this and repeat it. Repeat it? No, yeah, review it and rate it. That's not repeat it. Repeat it would mean, why was I saying, I was saying repeat. No, you got to rate it. Oh, damn, that means you could say something negative, but don't do that. Just lie. And subscribe to it so I'll keep talking to you because I'm not going nowhere. I'm in a bunker. Lots of love. Be safe. And sending you all my best. And I am here for you.